Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please, everyone. Spring AOP. AOP is nothing but aspect-oriented programming. A new module is started, guys. What is that? AOP, aspect-oriented programming. Today, completely background preparation. What is need of AOP? That is what we are going to discuss. Very, very important module. Spring is popular because of a number of reasons, and one main reason is AOP. One main reason is AOP. I will prepare background one by one. Concentrate. Now listen. The logics that are minimum and mandatory to develop the logics, to develop the application, are called primary logics or main logics. Okay, withdraw money operation, transfer money operation, deposit money operation, opening an account, closing account. These are quite mandatory in bank application development now, boss. These are quite mandatory in bank application development now, boss. Come on. The logics in application or project that are minimum and mandatory to complete the task are called as what? Primary logics. Withdraw money, deposit money. Now listen. Next point, guys. The additional and optional and configurable logics. Additional, optional, and configurable logics on the application or project are called secondary logics, boss. What logics, boss? Secondary logics. Okay. These logics are not minimum logics of application development. They are optional and configurable. Sometimes you want to enable, sometimes you want to disable. Such logics are called secondary logics. Performance monitoring, logging, auditing, caching, security, all these are secondary logics, boss. All these are secondary logics. Performance monitoring means what? How much time is taken by business method to complete the task. What do you mean by logging? Keeps track of application flow. Auditing keeps track of user activities. Caching remembers the data. Right now, boss. Security protects the data, and etc. These logics are called secondary logics. Secondary logics. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay, listen, boss. In our real life also, daily activities also, primary jobs and secondary jobs will be there. What is that? What are the primary jobs in a day? Taking food is primary job. Going to office, primary job, right? Okay. What are the secondary jobs, guys? What are the secondary jobs? Optional. If they're fine and good, if not, they're also no problem. Okay. Going to recreation club. Going to recreation club. Going for extracurricular activities. Extracurricular activities or co-curricular activities, they're optional, boss. If you go there, fine. If you don't go, also not a problem. If you go there, fine. If you don't go, also not a problem. Are you listening my statement, guys? Such activities are called secondary logics or not? Secondary activities are not. Okay, let me give one more example. You people are not active, boss. You are not responding in the chat box. To conduct the class in online mode, to conduct the classes in online mode, faculty, students, Zoom software. These are primary logics, minimum to conduct the classes, right? Okay, guys, tell me enabling chat box, me enabling mic, All these are what? Secondary, boss. Without them also classes will happen. But when they are there, classes will happen more effectively or not? When they are there, classes will happen more and more effectively or not? I want reply. When they are there, the classes will take place more and more effectively. Got the point, my dear? Super. So you understood the difference between primary and secondary logics? Additional, optional, and configurable logics on the application. Okay. Or project are called secondary logics. These logics are not minimum logics of application or project development. These are optional logics to place in application development. Okay, when they are placed, our application become more perfect and accurate. Without them also our application runs, boss. But when they are placed, our application becomes more accurate or not? More perfect and accurate. Guys, everyone, please come back. Yeah, listen. Performance monitoring, logging, auditing, caching, security, all these are called secondary logics, boss. Logging keeps track of application flow, nothing but code flow. Auditing keeps track of user activities, right? Caching remembers the data, boss. Security protects the application. Security protects the application. Understanding my statement? Super. These secondary logics are technically called as aspects or middleware services or cross-cutting concerns. These are the technical names, boss. These are the technical names for secondary logics. Are you getting my point? Aspects are, what is there? Middleware services are cross-cutting concerned and etc. Super, boss. Now listen. In any project, primary logics are horizontals. They will be developed parallelly, boss. They will be developed parallelly and individually. Understanding my statement? They will be developed parallelly and individually. And secondary logics are vertical. They will be developed only for one time, but will be applied on multiple primary logics. Come on, my dear. Daily transaction service, loan module service, insurance service. All these are primary logics, which will be running parallelly. Okay, where tell me what happened. Primary logics secondary logics will be developed only for one time, and they will be applied on multiple primary logics. They will be applied on multiple primary logic. So they are called verticals. Verticals are developed for one time. and they will be applied on multiple primary logics, nothing but horizontal. Check it out. In any project, the primary logics are horizontal. That means multiple primary logics will be developed parallelly and horizontally. Got it? Super. Secondary logics are called verticals because they are developed once for entire project, but will be applied on multiple primary logics, nothing but horizontal, nothing but cross-cutting concern. Check it out. Secondary logics are developed once, applied across the multiple primary logics. That's why we call them as what? Cross-cutting concerns. Cross-cutting concerns. Are you with me, guys? They are applied across the multiple primary logics. Everyone getting my point there? In any project, the primary logics are called horizontals. Multiple primary logics will be developed parallel and horizontal. I'll take one more example, guys. Okay, guys. In a software company, software project development is horizontals. Because every project, separate team, they will be working separately. For multiple projects, multiple teams will be working independently or not. For multiple projects, multiple teams will be working independently or not. Are you understanding my statement, boss? For multiple projects, multiple teams will be working independently. Super. Okay, now listen. Accounts department, security. Next one. What is that? Company maintenance department. All these will be only one numbers, right? Single copy. But they will be applied on multiple projects or not? So can we call them accounts department? Okay, what is that? Building maintenance department, security department, all these are verticals. Without them also project will run. But when accounts, security, building maintenance are applied, project development happens so effectively or not? The project development takes place so effectively or not? Come on, guys. I hope you are able to feel it. Okay, you take a school example now. You take one more example, school, guys. Conducting classes, conducting cultural activities. All these are horizontal in the classes, horizontal in the school, boss. What is there? Registrations department, examinations department, okay, academics department. All these are what? Verticals. They will be there only one time, okay, but they will be applied on what? Multiple classes that are running in the school or not? Multiple cultural activities that are happening in the school or not? So that's why in any project development, primary logics are called horizontal, secondary logics are called verticals, guys. These verticals will be applied across the multiple horizontal. These verticals will be applied across the multiple horizontals. Everyone getting my point there, guys? Come on. Yeah, next one. AOP is not replacement for OOP. AOP is not replacement for OOP, object-oriented program. In fact, AOP is built on the top of. AOP is built on the top of OOP. That means AOP internally uses OOP. OOP means what, guys? Object-oriented programming. Lots of people think that AOP came so that OOP gone. No, no, no. AOP is running on the top of OOP. Are a regular object-oriented programming, ra babu. Object-oriented program. AOP. Aspect-oriented programming. Super, guys. AOP extends from OOP. Conclusion, AOP complements OOP. That means because of AOP, OOP runs more effectively. OOP runs more effectively. Understood, guys? Super, guys. Tell me. Logging keeps track of code flow, whereas auditing keeps track of user activities in application execution. Whenever I have given request, we get the response. In that process, what lines are executed, which classes are executed, which methods are executed, decided by the logging boss. Decided by the logging, right? Whereas auditing keeps track of user activities in application execution. User activities in the application execution. When user logged in, when user checked the balance, when user transferred the amount, when user closed the account, when user opened the account, all these details will be kept tracked by auditing secondary logic. Logging keeps track of code-related flow. Logging keeps track of code-related flow. Got it, my dear? Super. Now listen, this is very important. Problem with OOP style programming. AOP has come as extension of OOP means there are some problems with OOP style programming, na boss. Listen carefully. In the business method of service classes, we are forced to mix it up both primary and secondary logic while working with what? OOP style program. We are forced to mix it up both primary and secondary logics in OOP style programming. What style, guys? Object-oriented programming, boss. Object-oriented programming. Check it out. Public class bank service. Here is my withdraw method. Listen. Primary logic. Balance is equal to balance minus amount. This is primary logic, right? Logging logic, auditing logic, security logic. Total 3 logics are happened now, boss. Total 3 logics are happened now, boss. I want reply. Logging logic, auditing logic, security logic. They are Java statements, Babu. They are Java statement. I'm just giving idea. Some written statement. See, we are mixing up both primary and secondary logics. In the same business method, we are writing both primary and secondary logics, na boss. Say something, my dear. In the deposit method also. Deposit balance is equal to balance plus amount, primary logic. Logging logic, auditing logic, security logic. Here is the written state. Cool, guys. Super. Business logic or service logics are called primary logics. The method that contains business logic is called business method or service method. Is technically called business method or service method. Come on, my dear. Come on, my dear. Are you understanding my statement? Super. Now tell me. Limitations of OOP style programming. Limitations of OOP style programming. The primary and secondary logics are mixed up in every business method. Listen. Primary and secondary logics are mixed up in every business method now, boss. That means there is no clean separation between logics. I'm telling the problems of OOP style programming. That means traditional programming, what we have learned so far. We are mixing up both primary and secondary logics now, boss. Super. We are writing same secondary logics in multiple business methods of multiple service classes. So we can say there is no reusability for secondary logic. See, same logging, auditing, security logic, same logging, auditing, security logic. Somehow these logics are not reusable now, boss. Somehow these logics are not reusable now, boss. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Yeah, let's see, guys. While enabling or disabling secondary logics, on primary logics, we need to modify source code of the business method, which is a very complex process. Tight coupling between primary and secondary logics is happening or not? Tight coupling between primary and secondary logics is happening or not? I want reply. Suppose, listen guys. Someone asked, what is need of enabling security while depositing money? Who will deposit money into wrong account? Let's disable it. We have to disturb the source code. No, RBI said, to the accounts of innocent people are terrorist people are depositing money and propagating them towards what? Terrorism. So let's monitor who is depositing money. Right? Again, security logic is required. Sometimes they are asking to disable, sometimes they are asking to enable. So that time you have to disturb the source code or not, boss? While enabling or disabling secondary logics on primary logics, tell me, we need to modify the source code. We need to modify the source code of business method, which is very complex process. Which is very, very complex process. It is not industry standard process. Are mixing up primary and secondary logic together is industry standard, boss? Code in business methods looks very clumsy because we are mixing up both primary and secondary logics, na boss? Because we are mixing up both primary and secondary logics, na boss? Come on. Looks very it looks like a bachelor room. It looks like a bachelor room. Come on, guys. It seriously, literally looks like a bachelor room. I want reply. It seriously, literally looks like a bachelor room. I want reply, my dear. I hope you got the point. Got the point, guys. Primary and secondary logics are mixed up in every business method. That means there is no clean separation between logics, guys. Come on. Are you able to feel the problems, guys? Are you really able to feel the problems? I want reply. Solution using AOP style programming, which is extension of OOP style programming. Okay, for example, this is looking like a bachelor room. This is looking like a roadside tea drinking. What's the problem with the roadside tea drinking? When you order the tea, they will give tea directly, in which everything is already mixed up. Final product will be given to you. In that one, everything is already mixed up, right? Milk is already there, decoction is already there, sugar is already there, ilachi powder is already there, ginger is already there. Yes or no, na? Suppose you want a strong tea, you have option. You have an allergy with the ginger, you have option. You have allergy with ilachi powder, you have option to remove. You are a diabetic patient. You are a diabetic patient. You want less tea, less sugar. You have option? No. So because everything is mixed up, right now, boss, final product is coming there. Solution using AOP style programming. Listen carefully. What this AOP style programming says, you know? Okay. In service class, keep only primary logics. In service class, keep only primary logics. Try to develop secondary logic separately. So primary logic in a separate place, secondary logics in separate place. Got it, my dear? Primary logics in separate place, secondary logics in separate place. Got it, my dear? Are you understanding my statement? Now listen. At the time of development, they are separated. They are developed independent. So listen carefully. Now you have to give them as inputs to AOP enabled software. AOP enabled software like Spring AOP. Like Spring AOP. What Spring AOP will do, you know, will generate one dynamic Java class at runtime. A Java class will be created dynamically at runtime. Java class will be created dynamically at runtime. Are you getting my point there, guys? In that class, the necessary primary and secondary logics will be mixed up. And we get the object of that class. When you call methods on object of that class, both primary and secondary logics will be executed together, na boss? But tell me, mixing is happening at what time? Compile time or run time? Development time or run time? Mixing is happening at development time or run time? Dynamically at runtime. Mixing is happening dynamically at runtime. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Yeah. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. What it says, development time, keep them separately. Due to AOP enabled software, this AOP enabled software generates one Java class dynamically at runtime. Their primary and secondary logics will be mixed up as needed. Are you listening my statement, guys? See, guys, AOP style programming says separate secondary logic from primary logics during the development, but apply secondary logics with primary logics dynamically at runtime. By generating in-memory proxy class, temporarily generated class at runtime dynamically, where both primary and secondary logics will be mixed up. My theory and my whatever explanation I have given, that is matching or not matching. Okay, just feel about 5-star hotel tea, guys. Just feel about 5-star hotel tea. Just feel about 5-star hotel tea, guys. Just think about 5-star hotel tea, guys. I want reply. Yeah, just assume, guys. Assume when you order the tea in 5-star hotel, he will give directly tea? No. He will bring decoction separately, milk kettle separately, sugar crystal separately, ilachi powder separately, right? Come on, guys. Okay. As a customer, you should mix according to the quantity of yours just before drinking. Just before drinking. AOP style programming is also happening in the same style. Separate class having primary logic. Separate classes having different secondary logics. All these classes will be given as inputs to AOP enabled software. This AOP enabled software generates one new class dynamically at runtime, where secondary logics will be applied on primary logic as we asked, as we configured, as we requested. So that what happens, guys? Development time, primary and secondary logics are looking separately. Understanding my statement, guys? Never went to 5-star hotel? At least you might have watched it in movies now. Pankaj. Pankaj, at least you might have watched it in 5 movies. Your movies also pura. Your movies also pura. See, you may be poor, guys. Your dreams should not be poor. Your desire should not be poor. Bill Gates always says, taking birth as poor is not your mistake, but dying as poor is definitely your mistake, right? Yes, na, boss? Super. That's fine. Think big. Think big. Java gives so many things. I am the best example for that. Whatever I am today, whatever popularity I got in the market, whatever financial security I got, whatever stability I got in life, whatever circle I got, 90% things happened because of Java. 90% things happening because of Java. 10% because of my network. So in life, two things are very important. Two things are very important. Number one, in which domain you are good, you should be master in that subject. My domain is Java. I should be master in Java. Got it? And next, people calls me Java Nataraj. I feel very happy. People calls me Java Nataraj. I'm very, very happy to have Java as my surname. Java as my first name. I don't have any problem. If any technical possibility is there, I will remove my original surname. I don't mind keeping this surname. Java as my surname. You know, like some people even given suggestions to me. Okay, why don't you give your kids' names as what? Spring Boot. Okay, web services. But somehow my family members did not agree for it. But actually, I tried to do, but not happen. Okay, because the people are so deeply involved in communism, they will try to give what, guys? They try to give their kid names as what? Great communism leader names. Stalin, Lenin. This kind of names they will give now, boss, for their kids. So as a software guy, as a Java guy, our kid name should be what? Our kid name should be what? Spring Boot, JDBC, Servlet, are new names. AngularJS, DevOps, cloud computing. And if you look at some English names, boss, sometime you will be surprising by listening their names, right? Sometime you will be surprising by listening names. Same thing here, right? Okay, guys. So look at this theory now. Acha, Lambak is good. Acha, Sanku Jade, now you can give Lambak, your kid name as Lambak. Okay, Lambak Raju. No, you give names like this, it will be very funny. Spring Sita, Spring Boot Mahesh. Okay, Lambak API Raju. Yes, na boss. Angular Rani, right? Jakarta Rohit. Super. Super, guys. Now let's come into discussions, guys. Main class or target class, bank service, withdraw only primary logics, right? Deposit only primary logic. Are you noticing it, guys? Withdraw only primary logic. Deposit only primary logic. Right now, boss? Super. Tell me. Login aspect, login logics. Caching aspect, caching logics. Security aspect, security logics. All these are given as inputs to AOP enabled software na, boss. Like Spring AOP, Aspect AOP, JBoss AOP. These are the different AOP enabled software. Nothing but AOP softwares. Super, boss. Now listen. I can give inputs to this AOP enabled software. Come on. Either through XML configurations or through annotation configurations. Are you listening my statement? Either through XML configuration or through annotation driven configuration. What kind of instructions, guys? Listen, on deposit method, I want only caching and logging logics. On withdraw method, I want only security logics. Like this, I can specify the logics or not. Like that, I can specify the logics or not. I want reply. Like that, I can specify the logics or not. I can give instruction either through XML or annotation configuration. See, guys, this will generate one dynamic Java class, guys. Dynamic Java class as the subclass of main class. Main class or target class. What is target class? Bank service. Dynamically generated class. Why it is called proxy class? Proxy means temporary thing. It is created dynamically at runtime on temporary basis. It is created dynamically at runtime on temporary basis. That's why proxy class. During your college days, in certain faculty period, you might have given proxy attendance to your friend. You might have given proxy attendance to your friend. Say something, my dear. That is forever or temporary. You did that work forever or temporary basis. You did that work forever on temporary basis. This class also dynamically generated at what time? Runtime. Runtime. Once application execution is over, this class will disappear. That's the reason we call this class as what? Proxy class. That's the reason we call this class as what? Proxy class, right? That's the reason we call this class as what? Proxy class. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Getting my point? Tell me. Public proxy class extends bank service. Some zigzag name dynamically generated class na. IOC container created class dynamically at runtime. Some zigzag name will be there. For in-memory proxy class, the source code generation, compilation, execution takes place in the JVM memory of the application or project. This class creation, compilation, execution, object creation, everything happens in the JVM memory of the application. Okay, guys. Tell me, in withdraw method, both primary and secondary logics are mixed up according to these XML inputs. In deposit method, both primary and secondary logics are mixed up according to XML inputs. Right now, boss? So that means at the time of development, they are separated. But the things are mixed up dynamically at what time? Runtime. Now listen carefully. I changed instruction XML file. Again, I rerun the application. Okay, new proxy class will come according to new instructions or not. That means when you enable secondary logics on primary logic, when you enable security on deposit method, disable security on deposit method, are you going to give any disturbance to source code of primary logics code and secondary logics code? No. Everything is given dynamically through XML instruction, and accordingly in-memory proxy class is generated dynamically or not. The AOP-enabled software dynamically creates in-memory proxy class having both primary and secondary logics. In business method, as guided to AOP-enabled software in XML configuration or annotation configuration. Are you listening my statement? Are you getting my point here, guys? Alexa, activate balcony central light.
Okay.
Target class is given. Aspects are given, right? In-memory proxy class is generated, right now, boss? Super. Okay, now listen. OOP style programming is like tea from regular hotel, where milk decoction primary logics are mixed up with sugar, ilachi powder, ginger paste kind of secondary logics while delivering the tea itself. AOP style programming is like tea from five-star hotel, where milk decoction and sugar, ilachi powder, ginger paste kind of secondary logics will be delivered separately to customer. But customer will mix them before drinking as needed. Before drinking as needed. Right now, boss? Are you understanding my statement? Array, for every secondary logic, you are taking separate class. But how many times you are writing? One time. But how many places you can apply them? In one business method or multiple business method? Multiple business method. So don't you think they are looking like a verticals? Don't you think they are looking like a verticals? Vilochan Nayak, I think everything is good now, boss. What's your problem? Am I not visible, guys? Am I not visible? Okay, guys. See, guys, development times, primary and secondary logics are developed separately. All those inputs are given to AOP-enabled softwares. This AOP-enabled software generates in-memory proxy class dynamically. This AOP-enabled software generates in-memory proxy class dynamically. Are you getting my point? John Chaudhary, problem is your side. Check your network bandwidth. Am I audible, guys? Am I visible and audible? Am I loud and clear? Yeah, John Chaudhary, check your side. Okay, guys. Now look at this. Normal Java class. .java file is saved where? Hard disk. After compilation, .class file comes where? Again in hard disk, right? Come on. Okay. That .class file goes to JVM, and JVM takes the .class file and executes the .class file in the JVM memory of the RAM. In the JVM memory of the RAM. This is a normal class. This is the working style of normal class. Right now, boss? Super. This is working style of normal class, boss. Tell me. For in-memory proxy class, guys, application or project is executed. Where? In the JVM. Generation of source code. Generation of byte code. Execution of byte code. Runtime class generation, compilation, execution takes place in the JVM memory where the application or project runs. So it is called dynamically generated proxy class. Since proxy class is generated in the memory where application is generated, nothing but JVM memory of the RAM. Nothing but JVM memory of the RAM. This generated proxy class source code, byte code will be destroyed at the end of the application execution as JVM memory vanishes. Array, okay, when class is created, runtime. Where? JVM memory. Where compiled? In the JVM memory. Where it is executed? In the JVM memory. Got it, my dear? Where it is executed? In the JVM memory. Clear, my dear? Runtime class generation, compilation, execution, everything happening in the JVM memory. I hope you understood the difference between normal class and proxy class, guys. Normal class .java in hard disk. Dot class file in hard disk. Execution only in the runtime, JVM memory of the RAM, right? Only execution takes place in the JVM memory of the RAM. Super, guys. Next one. When it comes to in-memory proxy class, first application executes. Then proxy class is created, source code is created, bytecode is generated. Okay, bytecode is executed. Everything is happening dynamically in the JVM memory of the RAM or not? Come on, my dear. So this, look at this class now. All these are normal classes where primary and secondary logics are placed. All these are given as inputs to whom? AOP enabled software. And this in-memory proxy class is generated where primary and secondary logics will be mixed up. Super, guys. Advantages of AOP style programming. Now observe, here primary and secondary logics are not mixed up. So there is a clean separation between logics. Agree with me, guys? There is a clean separation between logics. Convinced, my dear? Convinced or not, my dear? Here primary and secondary logics are not mixed up. So there is a clean separation between logics. Come on, my dear. See? Primary logic separately, secondary logic separately. Cool, guys? Next one. Since secondary logics are separated from primary logics, so we can say secondary logics are reusable logic across the multiple business methods of multiple service classes. Multiple business methods of multiple business logic. Nothing but multiple primary logics. Multiple primary logics. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Tell me, here primary and secondary logics are not mixed up. So there is clean separation between logics, guys. Understanding my statement? Super, guys. Tell me next. Since secondary logics are separated from primary logics, so we can say secondary logics are reusable logics. Are you understanding my statement? Across the multiple business methods of multiple service classes, nothing but multiple primary logics. Nothing but multiple primary logics. Understanding my statement? Using XML or annotation configurations, we can enable or disable secondary logics from primary logics without disturbing the source code. Without disturbing his source code. Getting my point? Using XML or annotation configuration, we can enable or disable secondary logics from primary logics without disturbing the source code. Without disturbing the source code. Come on, guys. Right now, boss. Since secondary logics are separated from primary logic, so we can say secondary logics are reusable logics across the multiple business methods of multiple service classes. So nothing but multiple primary logics, boss. Nothing but multiple primary logics. Tool. Using XML or annotation configuration, we can enable or disable secondary logics from primary logics without disturbing the source code of primary logics, right? We can enable or disable Rabab. It is industry standard approach to develop the application. Allows to have loose coupling between secondary and primary logic. What do you mean by secondary and primary logics loose coupling, boss? The degree of dependency is very less or not? Okay, guys. The degree of dependency is very less or not? Syed, background noise is from Mazid. Should I say what is that then? I think you know the better. Allows to have loose coupling between secondary and primary logic. The degree of dependency is less. Are you able to feel 5-star hotel tea service? It is looking like 5-star hotel tea service. Is it not looking like 5-star hotel tea service, boss? Is it not looking like 5-star hotel tea service, boss? All advantages, whatever problems I said with OOP style programming, all problems are solved AOP style programming. What do you say, guys? Super, guys. Now listen. Target class. Overview diagram of AOP. AOP overview diagram. AOP overview diagram. Target class primary logic. Aspect 1, aspect 2, aspect 3. All these are secondary logics. Secondary logics are also called aspects, right? Aspects, cross-cutting concerns, secondary logics, all are same. All these are given to AOP enabled software. Nothing but Spring AOP or Aspects AOP kind of thing. This internally uses CZlib or JDK libraries. CZ means code generation libraries, boss. CZlib means code generation libraries to generate the proxy classes dynamically. Right now, boss? This generated proxy class contains mix of both primary and secondary logics or not? Mixing of both primary and secondary logics or not? I want reply. So this contains both mixing of primary and secondary logics. Is that clear, guys? Target primary logics, aspect 1, aspect 2, aspect 3, which contains secondary logics. Come on. Both primary and secondary logics are given to AOP enabled software. AOP enabled software. Come on, guys. AOP enabled software. Are you understanding my statement? This AOP enabled software generates in-memory proxy class where both primary and secondary logics will be mixed. where both primary and secondary logics will be mixed up seriously. Enjoyed my statement, guys? Got the clarity, my dear? Okay, guys. I think now you got introduction to AOP. Yeah, what is single line statement about AOP, boss? AOP means aspect-oriented programming, which says develop primary and secondary logic independently and separately, mix them dynamically at runtime with the support of AOP-enabled software as needed, as required. As needed, as required. Only one thing you should remember: 5-star hotel ticket. Primary logics are like what? Milk and decoction. Secondary logics are like what? Ilachi powder and ginger paste. Okay, both will be mixed up just before drinking, not already this way. Okay, development time, keep primary and secondary logic separated. Okay, give them as inputs to AOP-enabled software. And AOP-enabled software generates a dynamic proxy class, mixing up both primary and secondary logics dynamically at runtime. Mixing up both primary and secondary logics dynamically at runtime. Clear, my dear? Got the clarity, my dear? Come on. Are you understanding my statement? Are you understanding my statement? Got the crystal clear picture? Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Okay, Raghavendra, tomorrow class not possible. Next class will be on Monday. Thank you, guys. So,